It's time for the Getting Outdoors podcast, Town Country United Bank Lake MIllers Ferry Weekend Hunting and Fishing Report. A weekly update on water conditions, ramp events, generating schedule, what's biting, and seasonal hunting information with outdoor reporters Joe Allen Dunn, Kevin Sims, and Shane Jones. This weekly hunting and fishing report is brought to you by the good folks at Town Country United Bank in Camden, Alabama, serving their customers for over 40 years. Town Country United Bank's highest priority is satisfied customers. Now, here's your weekend Lake MIllers Ferry hunting and fishing report.
All right, Big Daddy, here we go.
There he is. Team Bigfoot, baby. Another one on the B&B Silver Shad. Team Bigfoot in the house.
Shane Jones crappie fishing.
Got it.
First one, 2023, smackdown.
Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Getting Outdoors podcast 227 Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report for the weekend of July the 21st through July the 23rd with outdoor reporters Shane Jones, Kevin Sims, and P. Patch Jones. What's that? P. Patch Joe. What's that all about, Joe Allen?
Well, that's all I'm good for. I mean, I'm busy in cannon mode right now. Your garden stuff our stuff is really coming off. It's about to come to an end, but I love them peas in the wintertime.
All right. Well, so you done went to farming and putting and canning instead of fishing, right?
Well, right now I got to, it's just that time of year. And my mama's been doing most of the work. I'm aiding her a little bit. I'm helping her. But she is the backbone of our pea patch gathering right now.
All right. Well, I hope one day you get to come back over here and cook for us again.
I will.
All right. We just got through. I went back in my archives this week and pulled up an interview that me and Mandy and John Stokes did with Bruce Mitchell with the Alligator Man, and it was a great interview. We talked about frogging and bees and kayaking and gator hunting and gator cooking. It was a good interview we did back in 2018. Old Bruce is just a great guy, and I didn't have anything. I tried to get up with him live, but he's so busy that I just went back and got that interview, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. Who we got on Crappie Cast tomorrow night? Shane Jones.
Byron Weiss from down there in Lake Seminole. He's going to join us. John and Jessica went down there fishing, so we're going to talk about their trip down there.
Yeah, I want to hear about that trip because I watched them on Facebook, buddy. They did pretty darn good down there.
Yeah, they cracked on them pretty good down there.
All right, what we got going on this weekend, the big thing going on this weekend, of course, is the Alabama Deep Sea Fishing Rodeo. It will start on Thursday night, right, Joe Allen? Thursday night with the Liars contest. the
contest.
And that right there was Joe Allen at the Lions contest. What year was that, Joe Allen? You look mighty young, ain't a wrinkle in your face or nothing.
I know, ain't no gray hair. The beard ain't got much gray. It had to be 4 or 5 years ago.
I think it was in 2017. They captured you on the 5 o'clock news. I see right there that it was 89 degrees when they took that picture, so or when they aired that. So
Yeah.
it was hot down there. That was y'all fishing in the rodeo when these pictures were taken, Joe Allen?
No, that was just us back in the day when I used to catch red snapper.
Well, when you used to fish for them, you could catch them, but you ain't fishing for them no more. It's hard to catch one with your boat sitting in CT Ward Power Sports lot over there.
Yeah, I'm in the pea patch too much now.
But anyway, this weekend, the Alabama Deep Sea Fishing Rodeo, and I tell you, it is a spectator-friendly event, isn't it, Joe Allen?
That is, I mean, if you've never been, you need to go one time, at least one time, to watch it, because they have a lot of live music, a lot of good food there, and if you like, especially seafood around, and you like the Gulf atmosphere, they have it the best, and it lasts all weekend long. It's fun there from daylight to dark every day.
And you can keep up with the leaderboard. What's good about it, you can keep up with the leaderboard at www.adsfr, that's Alabama Deep Sea Fishing Rodeo.com. And I tell you, there's so much going on. They do a lot of live stuff, but I used to love to keep up with that leaderboard. When Captain Troy and Randy and all them was fishing in it, when I knew some people fishing in it, I don't know nobody's going down there. Do you know anybody's fishing in it this year, guys?
Yeah, Aaron's gonna be fishing in it.
Okay, all right.
But I'll bet you, talk about the rodeo and the big thing. What I used to go down there too far was to always get me a T-shirt every year. Now, me and Donna was down there this past weekend, Saturday, and they was lined up out to on down the road, just to get T-shirts.
They sell out of T-shirts.
Pools.
They sell out of them every year.
Every year.
All right. Also, this weekend, starting Friday, the 40th Annual World Deer Expo with Hannah and Jeff Byron, Bubba Buck, Turtle Man, our buddy Eddie Salter, king of the 10-inch beard. He'll be there. And Eddie told me when we did our podcast a couple of weeks ago, he said, if any of y'all have an old Eddie Salter call, and I know he's been doing it since the mid-'80s, and if you got an old Eddie Salter call, he said, bring it up to the show, and he will be glad to autograph it for you, because a lot of people probably got them old calls, and he'll autograph it for you. It's going to be a huge event. They're also asking everybody to bring their deer head. If you killed a big deer last year, I know it's a lot of trouble to take them up there, but what you do is you'll take them, they'll bring them in the door, they will officially score them, and then they'll hang them up on the wall. And I don't know if y'all have ever been and saw that wall of fame that they have, and that's probably the only place you can go where you can actually see deer from North Alabama to South Alabama and everywhere in between on display, all at one place at the World Deer Expo next weekend. It's going to be a hell of a show. It'll be 70,000 people come through there this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Well, he autographed my calls way back when I carried Hayden to Eddie was doing a seminar there, and I think it was out in Faunsdale, and the Benelli rep was doing a shooting exposition there, and that was a big thing. That was a lot of fun.
Captain Troy said him and Simon catching pogies for all the folks that's fishing in the Deep Sea Fishing Rodeo. So there you go. That he'll have that at his bait shop there and on the water. Troy Carney, Captain Troy.
Them pokies are good up here for catfish.
I'm going down
too.
there and get on the pokey boat and go help Troy one day.
Well, hey, I
Oh,
guarantee
come on.
you he'll take you. I guarantee you.
Tell me,
he'll
come
take-
on.
All right.
Bill,
That's
oh, that he sent me some pictures of this. Got some unique things on it. He said they got the boat, been working on it over a year, and they got it finished. And he said they're finna build a mold for it. They're gonna actually go to selling this boat. It's pretty unique looking boat.
Who is that?
Oh, 8 foot 8 inches wide.
Who did that, Kevin?
Troy.
Yeah, I sent him. Me and Shane designed that boat for him. You remember that, Shane? We put it together and I sent it to him.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, old Mike Leckins said this is the first time he's been where he could watch us live in a while. He said it's too hot this week for him to fish. And it is hot, sure hot. All right, let's see what else we got going on. We got Boots for Glory Veterans Rodeo coming up next weekend. We'll talk about that in a little while. But here's what I really want to talk about right now. We got Big Mama Bryant on here. But this weekend, MIllers Ferry, out of Roland Cooper State Park, the Alabama Catfish Series from 7 o'clock Saturday night till 7 a.m. Sunday morning at the Roland Cooper State Park T-Pier. You can call Brian Taylor 334-368-4983. This is a reeling rod tournament only. And let me tell you, I'm thinking it's going to be as many hammer catfisher women as it is catfisher men. I'm hearing a lot of chatter because I got this right here the other day from Michelle Pritchett, and she got her personal best. That's 55.62 pounds. And she said she was looking at Big Bama Brown down the river when she caught that fish. So that was last weekend. So she's fired up about this weekend's tournament. So it's going to be a good one, and I'm not going to be able to be at the blast off Saturday night at 7 p.m., but I will be at the weigh-in, and I might do some live stuff Sunday morning. So if y'all want to find out what they do Sunday morning, tune in to the Gettin Outdoors Facebook page, and I'll be covering it Sunday morning. That's Alabama Catfish Series. It's going to be some heavy hitters there. I guarantee you it's going to be a great, great event. All right, old Todd Prater's tuned in. Todd, I hope you're feeling better. He's been under the weather a little bit. All right, let's go over a couple of things. Gator scouting is going on right now. We can't emphasize enough how important it is. I'm getting texts and messages every day from people wanting to know where to find that big gator, what to do, Ain't never been down here before. And I'm telling every one of them, the best thing to do is come in the daytime and get familiar with the area before you go out there at night, because this is not a place for anybody to be out on MIllers Ferry at night if you don't know the river. You cannot depend on your GPS. It's just not. It's not enough mapping out there for you to depend on it. You can depend on it in the river pretty well, but you get off that river, Shane, that GPS map, I don't care how much you spend on it, ain't worth a damn.
That's right.
And I'll tell you something else too. Everybody go to Facebook. The alligator taxidermist that I know of, the best one in Alabama I know of that specializes in alligator skinning, mounting, processing is Lily Haygood up in Lowndes County. And go to her Facebook page, and she will be taking gators at the West Central Zone. Well, she'll take them from anywhere, but she's located in Lowndes County, Alabama. And we'll be talking a whole lot more about that. What about the Roy Martin Youth Tournament last weekend, Joe Adam? Was it the usual big crowd and everything?
Yeah, it was a good crowd there, real big crowd. We got there. We got there a little bit early. Me and Donna did. The major part of the weigh-in hadn't really got kicked in. We was there before lunch, and but it was still a lot of fish already been brought in. And I don't know. I looked in there too. I saw a big old alligator gar. It was in there. I don't know if they had a thing for it or just somebody caught one while I was out there. But saw a lot of fish I recognized, and A lot of fish I didn't know. When you got that many species of fish like they got, down at the Gulf, it's all kind of crazy stuff comes in.
Well, and that's what they do. They bring in that sea lab in there, and all those biologists and fishery experts. They love to get those different varieties of fish where they can show people, how many different varieties of fish it is in the Gulf. So that's probably why that thing was added, just to show everybody what one looked like.
Well,
right,
like you said, a lot of research that goes on with that,
Yeah, it is. All right, I got this from my old buddy at the Outdoor Friends Forever. They're doing a 30 guns in 30 days, $30 per ticket. They're giving a gun away every day from September the 29th till October the 28th. Daily drawing starts September the 29th. The tickets are $30 a piece, and you can go to outdoorfriendsforever.com to get your tickets. And I promise you, it goes to a great cause, because they do. Jim Hardy and that bunch up there do a great job with those special needs kids. So if you want a chance to win a gun, go get you one of them tickets. I got me 3 the other day. All right, here's something I want to talk about before we. But this right here was caught at Claiborne day before yesterday. It is a full-grown flounder, and that was caught yesterday by Harris Gates, the day before yesterday by Harris Gates. I don't know how he caught them. I don't know the story. I have seen flounders caught up here below the MIllers Ferry Dam. I've never seen one that big. Have y'all? Have you ever seen one that big, Kevin?
Not, I seen flounder, mostly crab. I know we've eaten them at the mill 2 or 3 times when they got them at Claiborne or Caulfield. They'd be big old blue crabs. And when you have a really, really low water summer and them crab walk all the way up there, and they take a chicken wing and throw it in there with a rope and just drag it up where you dip it. The water, pick the head up, and they get a whole. When we eat them at the mill, we come out there and we cook blue crabs. Have a bucket full of them. They would catch them, around the dam like that. When you have that, salt water is heavier than fresh water. It runs along the bottom, so your bottom species will move up when that does that.
Yeah. Next month, the next 2 months, it'll get more and more. If we don't have no fresh water, run them out.
They'll catch speckled trout all the way to the forks of the river. That they and they're not a bottom feeder, but the salinity will move them on up. Live Oak, Gravine Island. That's a normal thing. And then when you have a really good summer, they'll move on further up.
Way on up. Yeah.
Well, that's what Lance Cavendish said. He's seen flounder caught in late summer south of Jackson at the Tom Bigby, Alabama River right there. You said that's what you was talking about.
Yeah, you don't have the fresh water doesn't stir it up. The salt water will just keep creeping up on the bottom like it. I didn't see it, but there was a guy telling me they caught a little small bull shark at Claiborne a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I got a picture of it. I got to go pull it out. It was a guy that caught one. Yeah, I remember that. I had the picture. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to the Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report. We're going to start off with the catfishing. We've already mentioned that the Alabama Catfish Series tournament is this Saturday night. Roland Cooper State Park T-Pier. Brian Taylor will be a contender. Lucas Gibson, he's catching them. I've already shown you Michelle Pritchett's 55-pound blue cat she caught. Michael Hilliard sent me a picture of a bald eagle and a picture of him fishing, but he didn't send me a picture of no fish, so he's holding back. Old Hound Dog is out there doing some practicing, and I even hear Courtney Bumpers won it one year. She hadn't fished in it in a couple of years, but she's calling out Big Bama Brian Taylor. Now, this is all reeling rods, Joe Allen, Kevin. So what they need to do to catch that, they can weigh in. I think it's 2 34-inch ones. I'm not sure exactly the rules. It's not like our jugging, but it's gonna be some big fish caught. Give them some
35-inch.
Yeah. Dragon, that's their thing in this event. and it all depends on what they're doing with the water, how they pulling it, and that's a big issue right now. I've noticed, like Kevin said, what was it, Sunday they dropped the bottom out, and so they're back pulling, cutting it off pretty good. That's the whole thing. They got to watch that, and they know where to pull, how to pull.
Well, I fished with Bama, and we was going up through there, and then it was too much current for the planer boarders. But now, they in the morning, if the powerhouse ain't on, that's whenever they'll cover more ground like that because they can travel faster dragging. And then if the current's on, they'll have to go slower because the current's putting more pressure on their planer board to keep unhooking them. But that as far as I don't think the catfish in the river like that when they're dragging, they're moving and they're not just sitting in one spot tight line. And so the fish are not the same as they would be if it was like a bunch of current. They get up in a hole or in a top or something like that. So the current don't affect them as bad. I mean, probably a little bit of current is probably better than none, but they can cover way more water. And their electronics, they can see better and all that stuff, when the water's not 3 units going, busting away.
Yeah.
Well, old Big Bama Brian, he got that 16-inch screen hooked up to his trolling motor, and he just dragged that bait right on that right way. He maps it on the map, and I mean, he's a high-tech redneck, ain't no doubt about that. And I see Lucas Gibson's on him. He's going to be a contender. It's going to be some hammers out there Saturday night, I guarantee you. And it ain't nothing me or Kevin or Joe Allen or Shane can tell y'all other than I did put a new link up there in the top of the comments. It is a new website where you can go to it, and it's a lot more accurate than that damn telephone. I called the telephone today, and they hadn't updated it since Tuesday. And usually that means it's the same schedule. And at MIllers Ferry, Jones Bluff from midnight to 2 p.m., no units. From 2 to 3, 3 units. From 3 to 7, 4 units. From 7 to midnight, no units. So they'll be pulling water. They're not going to be pulling water at all at night. Doesn't look like they're letting it back up. So I don't know what they're going to do.
The main technique that I like most of all, especially that Big Bama Bryant uses, is that charcoal and that grill and that ribeye. Now, that has got to be the best fishing in the world when you're sitting there grilling you a big ribeye and watching your rods. Now,
he'll have them 2-inch thick ribeyes out there smoking up the river.
That's my man. That's my kind of fishing right there.
All right. Well, it's going to be a great event. Like I said, I will be there at the weigh-in Sunday morning, let y'all know how it turns out. Let's go to bass fishing, Kevin. Did you fish Maddie's tournament Saturday?
I did not.
All right. Drew and Michelle Covington won it. They had 5 fish, $15.98 with a 4.64 big fish. Trey and Leon Wade came in second with $14.67. Tori and Kevin Jones were third with $14.03. Shane Paul and Billy Locke were fourth with $11.86. And Sean and Mr. Frank Jordan, he held, and they had a 5.48 with $11.74 total. And I think she had 37, had 44 sign up, and then 37 show up. So it was a great tournament. Fruit Jar Tournament tomorrow, Thursday, July the 20th, 2023. That should be a good tournament tomorrow, Kevin. What's it like out there bass fishing now?
Well, Friday we fished and we caught. I think we had 7 nice keepers. Nothing real big. We tried a bunch of different places. We threw the crankbait. We threw some shaky head stuff like that, and it's definitely the fish are oriented, and they're getting set up for this current on and off. But now, like we talked about last week, well, Saturday morning we went at daylight Saturday morning with no water moving, and we got in the dirt. Once we finally, I convinced Don we need to get in the dirt. We got in the dirt, and we caught. We had 7 good keepers. Had one probably 3, nothing. Probably the rest of them was 2+, and then we had one little one, and we lost 5.5. We lost probably 4. In the bank grass. I mean, throwing way up in there in 10 inches of water, and they would just blast. It was 10 o'clock in the morning, but it was shady on that bank. It wasn't not direct sunlight on the bank. It was, but they was up shallow, and but I don't think you'll see that no more this summer after they pulled it down Sunday. Once they really bottomed it out, that pattern's not gonna come back probably.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see tomorrow afternoon with that fruit jar tournament. I hope they have a good crowd. Michael Hilly had just tuned in. We done already talked about you, Michael, and Michelle Pritchett's coming after y'all Saturday night. You and Big Brahma, Bryant, and Lucas Gibson. Y'all better be looking out for her, buddy. She fired up. She done caught that old big fish. So bass fishing, that's all we can tell them about that, I reckon, Kevin. All right, let's go to crappie fishing. I should have sent John Farmer a link and got him on here with us tonight. Shane, I just didn't think about it. We'll have to do that one time, but he's on. But let's talk about you talked to him. They went to Seminole this weekend. I've never fished Seminole, but I've heard of it. Go ahead. Talk about.
They went out there and got on the main river and found some schooling fish and some groups of fish out there on that timber on that lake. The main river, it's just like Talcon. There's a bunch of standing timber, big stuff in 40 foot of water. And those fish get up in the water column, 8, 9, 10 foot deep. They found some big schools. And he told me, though, the big schools, they didn't hardly catch anything out of. The groups of 3 and 4, he said the bottom one would come up, but they kept a lot of fish. They had some fun out there.
Yeah, I kept up with him, and he really.
He put out a little video of them catching some, so they had a dang good time. So,
hey, y'all going to the World Deer Expo? My old co-host, Gettin Outdoors radio co-host Ashley Mason says she will be there at the World Deer Expo booth number 1405 with Cracker Seasoning. Y'all come see her. Y'all go by and tell her I sent you up there. Ashley, boy, me and her had a good time when I had that radio show. All right, talking about crappie fishing, Jimmy fished MIllers Ferry. He did pretty good. Jason Threadgill had a good day the other day. Bill Lolly Jr. caught a bunch the other afternoon, Shane. Mm-hmm. And, of course, you was on MIllers Ferry Saturday, and you was on the Warrior Sunday. Tell folks if they go.
Oh, man, let's see. MIllers Ferry the water was cool. I told Big Daddy, it was kind of shocked me, though. The water was 82 degrees, and this time of year, it's not good for crappie fishing because I try to explain to people, we always talk about on the show, crappie and minnows are always trying to die. So they're moving to the best water to try to stay alive, and when that water cools off, it spreads those crappie out. It gives them more territory instead of being in a certain place. I like that water to be 90 degrees, have a little color to it, but I knew it was cooler, and a lot of those fish moved, and we still caught some fish, but, some of the creeks were muddy because y'all been having a lot of little flash floods in the evening down there. But, yeah, Bill Ollie was saying that, I'm sure Bill had to cover some water like I did. And there's fish out there to be caught. You just got to cover some water to catch them.
Well, Shane, I heard you was in some illegal water at MIllers Ferry.
I caught a couple good fish in some good water. Hey, matter of fact, this Saturday I don't have a trip, so I'm on. There's going to be some additional structure put out in some of those spots. So.
Well, when me and you rode by there and you pointed out, I said that is illegal water for you.
I thought of Dave. I went in there and I said there's a tree. There's a tree in there I recognize, and I told the boys I was with, I said, I recognize that tree, and I pitched up there. I caught a big old £1.25 black crappie. I said, I'm gonna tell Joe Allen about that.
Well, for y'all listening that don't know what they're talking about, Shane was fishing one of Joe Allen's holes, and he showed him the other day, and that ain't all. Him and Travis are gonna go doctor it up. I've discussed stuff. That's a good thing about Joe Allen knows the river. And some of that stuff deteriorated as far as structure. It's moved because of the floods. And if you know a good area where you used to catch fish,
as long as it's not silted in, if you go down there and put some structure out, it helps the area out. It'll put some fish in that area. So as long as the depth's still there.
Well, and that's what some of the most successful guides on any lake. I don't care if you're on Lake Martin or Grenada or MIllers Ferry or where you are. You know, how many brush piles you reckon they got at Lake Martin that they do?
There's I know Eric's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and they put out a lot. You know, same way down there. You know, the river system, you got to worry about being silted in, but if the depth stays the same, and you can, you know, a lot of people mess up, Big Daddy, I will say this, and try to put structure right where they're catching fish, and you don't need to do that because you can't have too much stuff there. And there's a reason why they're there. You can go, you know, 40, 50 yards away from it and try to find the same kind of, you know, to make it better. But don't try to put structure on top of where you've been catching fish.
Oh, yeah. We did that one year right there behind Joe Allen's house. We was wearing fish out back when Big Daddy did he was doing the tag fish tournament. Yeah. And we got us a load of Christmas trees, about 100 of them. We put them out like we didn't catch fish for 2 years out of that daggone fluke.
It happens, you know. Like I said, crappie, they're gonna go where they want to go, you know. And like I said, the water should warm back up with this temperature, so fishing should be really good this weekend. You know, as long as you don't get it, should be really good.
Friday,
it's hot.
Yeah, Friday, Shane, we was bass fishing and we was fishing pretty shallow, but it was in the current. It was running hard and around the cotton house, going up in there and fishing logs and patches of ice and stuff like that. And that little thunder boomer come through there like that, you know, about the third clap of lightning right there. That was the end of fishing.
Yeah,
we stayed out there and got drowned.
Those little storms, you have to be careful.
The bait left in that shallow water during all that thunder and lightning.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But, yeah, crappie fishing should be good. I threw a black and chartreuse in that colored water, and then we were just throwing monkey milk and chartreuse heads and, you know, covering some water. Like I said, we didn't catch – we might have caught 2 or 3 fish off one brush pile, you know. They were scattered pretty good with that water cooling off like that. So, same way to Malpas. We went to the Malpas, Big Daddy. The water was actually about 3 foot high. And it really scatters those fish there. I've been catching a lot of numbers here lately. And I went in there and we caught several big, nice fish, but I just couldn't put nothing together. You know, we left by lunchtime and it was just a slow day.
Well, it's good. It's crappie. You got a fish farm now, but they out there. And if you can stand the heat, if you can go from about day crack to about 11 o'clock, that's about all I can stand it. Shane can stay out there all day long. I can't do that, but and Joe Allen can't do it at all no more. So,
but yeah, anyway, I encourage everybody to go out there. You know, get out there at daylight. You know,
daylight and out by 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's exactly
all right. Well, that's your crappie report. I tell you what, I do want to shout out. They had the big Louisiana State Championship turkey calling contest this past weekend, and our boy Wayne Dozier from Clark County went down there and took home the bacon, son. He's my man. I remember me and Sally McGraw and Wayne and Eddie Salter had a turkey calling contest in my studio one time when I was in Thomasville on the radio show, and Wayne whooped Eddie and Sadler. So that was congratulations to Wayne, and his son Ben is coming along too. I think he did real good in the Polk division. So congratulations to Wayne Dozier. And pond fishing. Oh, Wayne's on there. Yeah, congratulations, Wayne. Look at that. That's why we call him P-Patch Joe.
My mother just walked in. She won't come over here and get on camera. But this is where all my peas are coming from. Mama is picking peas every day. She's working herself to death. And I'm going to put more peas.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I can't wait to taste them. All right, pond fishing is wide open. You got to go early and late in the afternoon, but they catching some. I'm keeping up with my girl up there at the Slab Lab in Huntsville, and she is catching some huge bluegill and shell cracker, and they're doing the same thing at Bibb County Lake and Dallas County Lake. And those ladies up at Dallas County Lake done figured it out. They got an umbrella like Shane, and that sun don't bother them. They'll sit out there all day long. It is time now to start thinking about your deer game plots, Joe Allen, and It's going to be deer season before you know it. September will be here. Dove season will be here before you know it. And now it's time to be thinking about that.
Yeah, I want to. You and Shane, y'all studied them umbrellas good. Y'all go to looking at them and study them and find me a camo one to carry out in the dove field.
That's what I'm running right now. The one I'm running right now is camo.
Yeah, the one that I bought is not camo, but it's got a thing where you can stick it in the ground.
Yeah, it's got an auger. Here it is, right here. Look, that umbrella I bought got an auger right there. It's screw it in the ground, and it also has some, some little pin stakes. Excuse me, stick in the ground. They make an 8-footer, Joe Allen. I think that thing's about $60.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They make them. Those ladies at the Dallas County. We need to ride up there to the Dallas County Lake and see what those ladies are using up there. Sitting there, they got their lawn chairs, and I think they buy them umbrellas at Dollar General or somewhere like that. It's got a stand on them.
Oh yeah.
But dove season, it's hot out there. That dove field, ain't no doubt about that. All right, Joe Allen, Dunn Sports, Thomasville, Alabama. What, man? You ready for dove season? Have you moved your summer stuff off and got your dove stuff ready?
Yeah. We got these. Bubba's gonna run some specials on the Rodeo shotguns. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing going there right now. It's kind of, this company is a group of guys that spun off from Benelli. They got a more affordable price, and Bubba's going to be offering $100 off of select models of the Rotays right now, and that's a fine shotgun. Some of the features are what they went ahead and put on there. I like the oversized right here for man with the gloves on, duck hunting. He ain't got a little old bitty thing. They got an oversized that. And the oversized is released right here too. So that's just 2 of the features they have, but they got plenty more. So come on.
What those guns run, Joe Allen? What those guns run, price wise?
Yeah, go online, look at Rodeo. It's a real deal. It's one of the upper end shotguns that is going on right now.
What does that gun run? You hold it in your hand. That's an automatic.
Yeah, this is just I think. A 3-inch right now it's running $1,400. Bubba's gonna knock $100 off.
Okay, $1,300. That's how much is a Benelli? Good Lord.
$2,000.
Yeah. The Benellis are $1,800, $1,900, $2,000. They sure are.
Man, hey, Lance Cabinets wants to know what brand umbrella you using, Shane.
Oh, it's a sport umbrella. You can get on Amazon, Lance. Sport umbrella. I got an XL, which is a 9-foot diameter. They make an 8-foot diameter, but me and Big Daddy set through a storm with it. They're pretty tough, So, but that's a sport umbrella XL is what I'm running. It's a 9-footer.
Well, and it's a good one. I have sat up on it in a major thunderstorm before.
Yeah, we rode it out. One of them little arms has been. The guy said, one of your arms has been. I said, oh, me and Big Daddy sat through a thunderstorm. He called hell for a minute. So
Michael Hillett said he's bringing his good luck partner Saturday, his beautiful wife, Miss Amy Coates Branham Hilliard. Good. I'll see y'all Sunday morning, Michael, and I hope you win it. It's going to be some good fishing going on Saturday night, the Alabama Catfish Series, all-nighter at Roland Cooper State Park, T-Pier. Y'all want to see some big fish, come down there Sunday morning at 7 a.m. All right, tomorrow night, Thursday night, every Thursday night on Shane Jones Fishing Facebook and Shane Jones YouTube. You and John and Jessica do a great job. The fastest growing internet show on the web. I don't believe any show I watch is growing faster than y'all are, Shane. What you gonna be talking about?
It's doing good. We're gonna get in, answer questions like we always do. We'll probably get into John's trip, probably get into some mapping questions because, believe it or not, John Fulmer, Byron Weiss, we all know each other, but we've never met. John looked at a map and was out there where Byron lives on the lake. And John went right to the same area that Byron's been fishing for years.
Yeah.
He'd done that by mapping. So we're going to get into little details about that, why he chose that spot, how he found it. But, I mean, Byron sent me a picture of John right out there amongst him, where he'd been catching fish for years. So we're going to get into, what they look for and how to find those fish this time of year.
Well, I've seen you sit at my house at night for an hour studying that Navionics map. I mean, you got to and have some stuff up there to show them, what to look for when you're looking at that map.
Right, I'm gonna try to get some map shots and stuff. Just like last year in Joe Allen's house, that old river map. I just happened, we was eating some good, some of Joe Allen's good food, and I looked over that map. I said, "Hey, what's that?" Joe Allen said, "Yeah, it's that creek channel, man." I said, "Huh?" And I went straight to it and found those fish and caught them for a month. Had a blast in there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and learning how to read a map nowadays, the way the maps are, some lakes are better than others. But if you learn how to read a map, that'll darn sure give you an advantage. I guess.
Oh yeah, if you know where that creek channel's bending in there, just like me and you got in the subject of those stumps and all that, we're trying to break down and not get too technical, but we have something in the works that's coming along. I think we're going to be doing a real recorded podcast where we're going to go into a technical side of it and really get in the details. Mm-hmm. So which, that way we can answer a few questions. And then if we get a subject like the thermocline or the topographic map or the, anything, ditches and, all this stuff, we're going to go into a detail and try to do a recorded. That way we can really get informative to people. So
yeah, y'all gonna get kicked out of the crappie arena if y'all keep giving all that good information away. Because I know you and Scott Mitchell's on here a while ago. You and Scott Mitchell taught me more in 10 minutes than I learned on my own in 10 years, and it cost me about $3,000.
Yeah, Scott Mitchell catches them too, but Scott does the same thing, guys. Mm-hmm. He studies, he knows where they should be, and even if you have to keep a journal, it's just. You could study it, believe it or not, just sitting around the house. It's patternable, for sure.
All right, I saw Jamie was on here a while ago. Diamond Bait. When's y'all's next recon? Y'all's fishing trip to do a little recon. Kevin?
We've been talking. Hopefully we're gonna go back to Chickamauga before too long and do another. Go up there and do some ledge fishing up there.
Well, that Diamond Bait, I tell you, y'all's boy that's got this sponsor on the Fishing Elite. He's been catching the heck out of some fish. Old Cole Sands. I've been keeping up with him. He's been catching some good fish.
He's been good. He's a little bit outside the cut for the Classic right now, but he's making this northern swing. Got I think 2 or 3 more tournaments. Be smallmouth. I asked him. He told me, he said that he had fished a little bit in college up there, but that this is gonna be kind of new to him. But that he's a big finesse fisherman at certain times of the year, at Chickamauga on his guide service. So I feel like he's gonna be in pretty good shape. If he can locate him, I know he can catch him. If he can get up and locate some of these fish,
All right, one more thing before we go. This past weekend was the annual Bayou Bama Bash, and Joe Allen got to taste a few of those redfish Sunday night, but I can't wait for our annual frog cooking. Let me tell you, and I know I see Todd and Shannon. I don't know. Do you know all the rest of them boys, Joe Allen?
Well, some of them I know. Big Mark now, and that young boy, I can't remember his name, but anyway. I've met them all. They've been down here. We cooked out down here at Shannon's camp and down at Blue Rock. So I know their faces. I can't remember all the names.
Well, they had a great time down there in Louisiana, and we're going to have a great time eating them frog legs, before long. So I look forward to that. All right, guys, another great show. Thank you. Remember tomorrow night, Shane Jones, Facebook and YouTube, Crappie Cast with Shane and John and Jessica Farman. Who's the other guy you gonna have tomorrow night?
Byron Weiss right there from Seminole, right there from Quincy, Florida. He's gonna be on there with us.
There's something else I want to know about. I want to know about this steak crappie steak building we might do on MIllers Ferry this weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna do something. Like I said, I don't have a trip Saturday. I got one Sunday, so we're gonna do a little something. We'll just
What
see
you
how
need
that
to
goes.
You just need to put them peas up. You keep shelling peas
No,
and shut
I
on.
need
Don't worry
ride
about
with them Saturday. I'm gonna be over to Saturday, either ride with them or I'm gonna follow them and watch.
somebody better mark them. I can tell you that. All right, guys, it's been another great show, and I appreciate y'all coming on and doing this every weekend, every Wednesday afternoon. It really does add to my podcast every week, and listening to y'all guys share y'all's information is just a great asset to me and my podcast, and I do appreciate it. And Kevin, I know that shutdown's coming. Hopefully, you'll be here next week. Maybe you missed the next week, but thank you for everything you contribute to.
Thanks, sir.
Here
All right,
comes
guys. What did you say, Joanne?
I said, here comes Miss Donna. She come in from work.
She's out making the
She makes the money. I sit here and play all day.
Well, you got a brother and a wife that takes care of you, no doubt about it, and a mama. All right. See y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in.
See you, bud.
Pap taught me every critter's track and how to set a hair trigger on a trap. He taught me to shoot, scale, and skin and make a snare with a leather strap. He taught me to be a part of the woods and all his woodsy tricks. Said you gotta walk soft on 2 light feet and try not to break no stick. I thank Daddy for my savvy, how to hunt and how to carry anything that I might need to get a piece of skillet meat. How to walk and how to hide, how to crawl and how to slide, how to sneak, stalk and climb and do it all on 2 light feet.